businesses often have very different goals to non-family businesses and the impact that can have on profitability. Tonight, in the second part of our series on family business, reporter Andrew Robertson runs the ruler over listed companies and looks at what changes when the major shareholder also runs the company.
She said, open this huge roadside stall that I started Barrelmore. The traffic on the road every day is about 7 cars.
Outspoken Harvey Norman founder Gerry Harvey has always been a stirrer, whether it's taking the mickey out of his wife at a store cooking demonstration or hitting out at the traditional way of running a public company.
The average time frame for a CEO in a public company is between 3 and 5 years. I mean, I'm going to do all the things that benefit me in that 3 to 5 year period, mostly.
Which, according to Gerry Harvey, can be very different to what's best for the business.
We effectively control over half of the shares in Harvey Norman. We run it for the long term. We run it like a private company in a lot of ways, like a family company in a lot of ways, because we've proven over 6 years that you get a better result that way.
And there's a growing body of research that suggests Gerry Harvey is right. Professor Cosmos Smirnios specialises in the study of family businesses at RMIT University in Melbourne. He's compared the returns of family and non-family businesses and says when it comes to listed companies, the family-dominated businesses do very well.
They outperform in terms of the market capitalisation. They also outperform them in terms of the return on assets, as well as normalised compound returns too. So they're outperforming them on a number of important indices.
One of the world's biggest investment banks, Credit Suisse, agrees. It says 22% of listed companies in the United States and Europe can be classified as family-dominated, and it's begun its own family business index, which includes such well-known names as Amazon, Merck, Microsoft, Nike and Swatch. Credit Suisse says the members of its family index have outperformed their sectors by an average of 8% this year, and it's been that way since the start of their research in 1996. 3 reasons have been identified: a longer-term management focus, better alignment of management and shareholder interests, and a better focus on core activities. And there's another factor in family-dominated companies, the influence of the founder, such as Rupert Murdoch at News Corporation, Frank Lowy at Westfield, or Gerry Harvey at Harvey Norman.
They're usually people that are identified within the community, the founders, and sometimes the successors. And we can see this in James Packer, for instance, that they're actually strongly identified as being a critical component of that particular entity.
There are about 300 listed family-controlled companies in Australia, and the most recent comparison with non-family companies was for the 5 years to 1999. An investment in a basket of 100 of those companies saw a 98% increase in market capitalisation versus a loss of 3.5% for a similar basket of non-family controlled companies. Annualised compound returns for the family companies were 45% compared to 0.1%. And $1 invested in that basket grew to $2.90 over 5 years, as opposed to $1.50 for the same investment in the All Ordinaries Index. While family-dominated companies outperform their non-family peers, it doesn't mean they're immune from shareholder criticism about the way they're run. Corporate governance is often a thorny issue, in particular the lack of truly independent directors on many family company boards. Harvey Norman is no exception, but Gerry Harvey is unrepentant.
If it's good for me and our family that own half of Harvey Norman, it doesn't stand to reason it's good for the fund managers and the shareholders and the little shareholders.
Not always so, according to shareholder activist Stephen Mayne, and he cites Harvey Norman's extensive property holdings as just one example.
A company like Harvey Norman, for instance, could unlock some value by spinning off its property portfolio into a separate vehicle. But Gerry Harvey's a bit of an old-fashioned guy. He believes in keeping all the property in-house, so he's decided not to unlock that value.
Mr Mayne drove a motion at last Saturday's News Corporation annual general meeting for the 2 classes of News Corp shares to be merged into one with equal voting rights.
If Rupert went to one vote, one value, as a lot of people think he should, you would have a takeover premium in the News Corporation share price, because all of a sudden the Murdoch family would only own 15% of the company, and that would mean that a Microsoft or a Google or someone else could actually make a takeover bid.
Mr Mayne's motion received a surprisingly high 23% support, but after the AGM, Rupert Murdoch strongly defended the dual share system.
I think it's led to long-term stability of management, which has enabled us to take bigger risks perhaps than other people.
And is one reason why, in a note to its clients at the end of last month, Credit Suisse recommended investors consider taking long-term positions in companies with a significant family management influence because of their better performance.
Andrew Robertson reporting. Now a look at tomorrow's very